In the small village of Omasa, life was never dull. Even when nothing significant happened, Mama Obasi and Mama Chichi would always find something to discuss. These two women, famous for their endless gossip, had a special spot, a wooden bench under the old mango tree near the village square. From that corner, they could see everything and hear even more. Every morning, after sweeping their compounds and sending their children to the stream or the farm, Mama Obasi and Mama Chichi would bring their stools and meet under the tree. Mama Obasi would settle herself first, adjusting her wrapper properly before speaking. Mama Chichi, have you heard that Amaka's baby cries every night? Mama Obasi would ask, her eyes wide with curiosity. Oh really? You mean the baby she just had last month? Could it be that witches are disturbing them? Mama Chichi would reply, leaning forward as though the matter required urgent investigation. I don't know, but my cousin who lives near their compound said the crying isn't ordinary. Mama Obasi would lower her voice. They say the baby sees spirits. Mama Chichi gasped, clutching her wrapper. Spirits? This village will not cease to amaze me. From their strategic position, they would observe everyone passing by and analyze their every move. If Okon, the hunter, walked by carrying his gun, Mama Chichi would nudge Mama Obasi. Do you see how fast Okon is walking? That's how he ran past my backyard yesterday. What could he be hiding? Did you hear that they said Okon hasn't caught any bushmeat in over a week? Maybe he's trying to outrun some bad luck, Mama Obasi would reply, shaking her head in mock pity. Then, Chichi, the village tailor, would walk by with her measuring tape draped around her neck. Mama Obasi would narrow her eyes. That Chichi, her mouth is too sharp. She insulted Mama Ayib yesterday over 20 naira change. Ah, that doesn't surprise me, Mama Chichi would respond. Her father was the same. They have no patience. One particular afternoon, while they were settled in their usual spot, a loud commotion erupted from the village chief's compound. People began rushing to see what was happening. Mama Obasi, don't waste time. Let's go and see what's going on. Mama Chichi jumped up, tying her wrapper tighter. When they arrived, they saw the chief's youngest wife, Ada, shouting and pointing fingers at another woman, Ifema. Apparently, Ada was accusing Ifema of trying to charm her husband with juju. Mama Obasi slapped her thigh. This is beyond me. You mean to say Ifema wants to use charms on the chief? The chief who loves young women more than his own life? Mama Chichi added, shaking her head. They didn't need anyone to explain the full story. From the shouting and reactions, Mama Obasi and Mama Chichi had already pieced the story together. By the time they returned to their bench, they had added their own embellishments to the tale. I knew it, Mama Obasi declared. Ada won't last in that marriage. She's too suspicious. But Ifema too, why would she go near the chief's compound? With her beauty, it's no wonder people suspect her. Mama Chichi nodded in agreement. One fateful day, Mama Obasi found herself at the center of gossip. Mama Chichi arrived at the bench first, looking unusually excited. Have you heard what they're saying about Mama Obasi? She asked Chichi the tailor, who was passing by. No. What happened? Chichi stopped, her measuring tape dangling. They say her goat entered the chief's compound and ate all the vegetables planted for the upcoming festival. As Mama Obasi approached, she noticed the way people were whispering. When she sat down, Mama Chichi cleared her throat. So, Mama Obasi, what's this we're hearing about your goat? I hope it isn't true, she said. Mama Obasi paused, shocked. What goat? What did my goat do? Mama Chichi leaned closer, grinning mischievously. They say your goat has disgraced you in the chief's compound. Can you explain yourself? For the first time, Mama Obasi was at a loss for words. The same bench they used to judge others had now become a courtroom for her own matter. Later that evening, the village crier announced an emergency meeting at the chief's palace. Curiosity gripped the villagers, and they gathered under the moonlight to hear the chief's verdict on the destroyed vegetables. The chief's spokesman began to speak. The chief has decided to fine Mama Obasi for her goat's behavior. However, there's another matter that must be addressed. Someone has been spreading lies about Efima and Ada. The crowd murmured. Mama Obasi and Mama Chichi exchanged nervous glances. The spokesman conceded. The chief has evidence that certain individuals have been fabricating stories to create tension in the village. A witness saw Mama Chichi whispering into Mama Obasi's ear near the mango tree. Gasps filled the air. Mama Obasi stood up abruptly. It's not true. We were only discussing what we heard. The chief spokesman raised his hand for silence. From now on, anyone caught spreading unverified stories will face a heavy fine. The mango tree bench is now off limits for gossip. The next morning, the bench under the mango tree was empty for the first time in years. Mama Obasi and Mama Chichi sat in their separate compounds, avoiding each other. The village was unusually quiet, but the silence didn't last long. By midday, Mama Obasi's daughter ran into the compound, breathless. Mama Chichi's chicken has entered our kitchen and eaten our yam. Mama Obasi sprang to her feet. Is that so? Then let's see what the chief will say about this. And so, the gossip shifted, not to end, but to evolve. In the village of Omasa, the corner never truly runs out of stories, even when the bench is gone.